Hey everybody, sit-ups. So what I'm going to do here is do a progression of kind of the same style of sit-up from the very beginning, meaning as long as you know that you don't have a real injury you're working with, but it's just you haven't done this in a long time. If you have a real injury, you really got to talk to a doctor or a physical therapist before doing sit-ups. But if you don't have an injury, you feel that this is a safe movement for you, we're going to build from the bottom, meaning just like the most basic, and then I'm going to go to a much more intense. And so the ask is that you listen to how you feel, you work with what's safe, what's appropriate for you, and you stop when the time is right. And so if you wanted to start with me at the beginning and go to the end, it will be about 3 or 4 minutes, and that's what I'm asking. I'm just asking you to do 3 to 5 minutes of sit-ups today. Again, within your physical range and what is appropriate for your body and your health. So we're going to start, everybody laying down. Come down safely onto your mat. And make sure that go ahead and push your elbows down to lift your shoulders and then flatten your shoulder blades into the mat. And then you can just take your hands down by your hips. That's where they're going to be for the first little while. And so step 1 is going to be lift one leg, set that leg down, lift the other leg, set that leg down. If you have not done sit-ups in a long, long time, this is where you start and where you stay. It strengthens your core. It stabilizes and aligns your body. It's an excellent movement as long as it's safe for you. So next step is to come up into this kind of chair style pose and do the same thing, but you're going to have one leg lifted at a time. So now you're going to bring one and tap, and then bring the other and tap. So notice that I'm pivoting at the hips rather than bending the knees more than they were. So if you just bend the knees, all you're doing is kind of getting some knee mobility. If you're pivoting at the hips, you should feel right away that this is the intensity is building. You're starting to feel it in your core. The intention is that you continue to breathe here. So this is a great option. This is a great option for pregnancy, for people with low back issues who still want to strengthen their core but don't really have another option to do so. A regular sit-up wouldn't help. And this is a great place to stay. Okay, so we're building. Next step is you're going to take we'll do right hand, left knee. So you're going to tap your right hand to your left knee as your right toes go down. And then come back and you're going to tap left hand, right knee, right hand, left knee. So you're doing the same movement you were, but you're adding a little bit on. That sense of crisscrossing the core. Shoulders are still down. Again, this is quite accessible for even pregnancy, as long as you've checked in with your healthcare provider. Okay, we're going to take a break, and because we're making a really big jump. The jump is going to be hands behind head, elbow to knee, same movement, but that is a big jump in ability. And this is where if you are pregnant, if you do have low back issues, you've got to stay where we just were. So again, it's like a bicycle, but it will be with that slow controlled with the tap down. So bring your legs up, and then elbow to knee, opposite knee down, or toes down, through center. So again, this is a big change from where we just were because the shoulders are now lifted. The neck gets involved. We do want the neck to be heavy and soft. You're really pivoting from the shoulders rather than the chin. Make sure you're breathing. I like to inhale one side, exhale the other, but you could do a little faster breath by inhaling center, exhaling to each side. Okay, so we're gonna pause because that was a pretty big jump, and now we've got one more and it's a really big jump. So this is for people who have done sit-ups, they're just looking for something fresh. It's my favorite variation right now. I'm gonna bring my legs a little wider than the mat, my arms wider than the mat, so it's like a star or an X shape in my body. Take an inhale, on an exhale, opposite hand and foot. Inhale down, exhale, opposite hand and foot. Inhale down, exhale, inhale, exhale. So the reason I like this is because yes, it's involving the core, but it's also involving every other part of your body. You kind of have to work everything together. It's also just a little bit different, keeps things fresh for me. So again, you'll need to stay where is appropriate for you, but as you continue to progress, as you check in with your provider, you'll know what is safe, when it's time to move on. I'll just do 2 or 3 more of these if you're still with me. If you started from the beginning and went all the way to the end, you're probably good on your sit-ups today. If you started at the beginning and then just stayed with that, one movement or the second movement while I was talking, you're good for today. So I hope you enjoy this sense of bringing a little fire in your body. It really does shift your energy. Thanks for being here.